Assalamualaikum to our respected lecturer, Madam Sedi. My name is Muhammad Faizuddin bin Fazil and my student ID is 20227413 and 19. Our topic is about proposal of tourism, economic and macroeconomic problems. Business tourism. So what is business tourism? Business tourism can be defined as travel for business transaction, business meetings, and business conference. For instance, when people travel extensively outside of their home country and stay to support their businesses, this actually is referred to as business tourism. Business travel has always been an integral part of the corporate work. It provides opportunities to meet clients face-to-face, attend conferences and networking events, and explore a new market. Macroeconomic issues facing by Malaysia or the world that affect the current economic development, which is unemployment increase, inflation, interest rate, and budget deficit. Okay, I will pass to the next person.
Assalamualaikum to our respected lecturer, Madam Sally. My name is Muhammad Imran bin Shamsul Baharin and I'm going to present my part that is unemployment rate. Most of the companies pay relatively low wages and it is considered not to match the energy and work of the employees. The overall state of the Malaysian economy plays a significant role in determining unemployment rates. During periods of economic slowdown or recession, unemployment rates may increase. And the second point is too many graduates have also caused the unemployment problem in Malaysia to increase. This is because the required positions are not equivalent to the number of graduates waiting. Youth employment is a particular concern in Malaysia. Factors such as a skill gap, lack of work experience, and a competitive job market can contribute to higher employment rates among young people. Efforts to address this issue often involve initiatives aimed to improving education and training opportunities, promoting vocational skills development, and encouraging entrepreneurship among the youth. The third point is in tourism economics. During COVID-19, most of the company in tourism industry like hotels and travel agencies need to be shut down their business due to suffering a lot of losses. Certain industries in Malaysia may experience specific challenges that contribute to unemployment. For instance, industries heavily reliant on exports or affected by global economic conditions such as manufacturing or oil and gas may face fluctuation in employment levels. Additionally, technology advancements and automation can impact job availability in various sectors. The last point for my part is but some of the tourism business can survive during COVID-19 because they need to cut off their worker to still relevant in the industry. It makes the unemployment increase. The Malaysian government has implemented various policies and initiatives to address unemployment. These include programs focused on enhancing job creation, developing skilled human capital, promoting entrepreneurship, and supporting small and medium-sized enterprises. And that's all for my part. I'm going to pass it to the next person. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Madam Saliza. My name is Muhammad Hamizan and I will continue the presentation with the effect with inflation. So, what is inflation? Inflation refers to the sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time, typically measured annually. It means that, on average, the price of goods and services are rising, and the purchasing power of money is decreasing. Inflation is usually expressed as a percentage increase in the price level over a specific period, such as a year. A country that sustainably imports the goods and services would need to pay higher price in the local currency when it depreciates against the currency of trading partners. Inflation can also affect exchange rate, which can impact business tourism. If a country experiences high inflation, its currency may weaken against other currencies. This can make the destination more attractive for international business travelers as their currency can potentially go further. Next, cost of travel. Inflation often leads to an increase in the cost of goods and service, including transportation. Higher food price, for example, can rise the cost of a fare and the hotel rates. This can make business travel more expensive, potentially impacting the frequency or scale of business trip. If travel costs become prohibitive, a business may cut back on travel, which could reduce the demand for business tourism. Next, business expenses. Inflation affect not only travel costs but also other business expenses. Rising price for food, accommodation, and other service can increase the overall cost of hosting conferences, exhibition, and other business events. This can put pressure on event organizers and may result in higher registration fees or reduced budgets for marketing and promotion. Lastly, inflation also reduces unemployment. If inflation is lower than nominal wage, real wage will drop, causing consumer spending to increase, eventually leading to inflation. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Imam Rushdi, and I will continue from my part interest rate. The interest rate means the amount a lender charge from a borrower, and it is percentage of the principal. Interest rate have come to occupy center stage. Successful globalization require that all the actors work. Keeping interest rate low is the issue, and that has attract the attention of economics. Okay, the effect of interest rate to tourism industry first is cost of borrowing. Okay, interest rate impact the cost of borrowing for business in the tourism industry. Higher interest rate make loan and financing more expensive, which can discourage tourism-related business from expanding. If investing a new infrastructure or upgrading their facilities. This can this can have a negative impact on tourism development and the overall quality of tourist service. Second, investment in tourist infrastructure. Tourism development often require uh, significant investment in infrastructure such as hotel, resort, transportation networks, and recreational facilities. Higher interest rate can make this investment less attractive as the cost of financing increase. This may lead to slowdown in infrastructure development, limiting the growth of tourism in region. Okay. For the third effect is exchange rate and international tourism. Interest rate can influence exchange rates, which in turn affect international tourism. When interest rate rise, the currency of the country may appreciate, making it more expensive for foreign tourists to visit. This can reduce the number of inbound tourists of and impact tourist revenue. On the other hand, lower interest rate can lead to a weaker currency, making destination more affordable for international tourism and potential boost tourism. Okay, last but not least is investment alternative. High interest rate can make alternative investment option more attractive compared to investing in the tourism sector. Investors may choose to allocate their fund to higher yielding investment such as stock or real estate rather than tourism projects. This can hinder tourism development and limit the availability of funding and tourism-related ventures. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Izul Mafikri. Now I will present about budget deficit. What is budget deficit? A budget deficit occurs when expenses exceed income, or easy to understand, when government's total expenditure is more than its total revenue. How long it takes? Usually budget deficit measure over a single financial year. How to know budget deficit happens? To measure the budget deficit, the government compared its total expenditure during the financial year, which includes various categories such as infrastructure development, public service, defense, healthcare, and etc., against total revenue sources such as tax, fees, tariff, and other form of income. The budget deficit to be reserved for government, although it's also possible for organizations, businesses, and individuals to run a budget deficit. A budget deficit implies a reduction in tax and an increase in government spending, which result in an increase in aggregate demand of the country and subsequent economic growth. An example occur when a government spends more in a given year than it collects in revenue such as tax. As a simple example, is if a government take in 10 billion in revenue and in a particular year, and its expenditure for the same year are 12 billion, it is running a deficit for 2 billion. What is impact budget deficit to tourism? First, reduction in tourism promotion. A budget deficit may lead to reduced funding for tourism promotion campaign and marketing efforts. Second, safety and security. Budget deficit can impact a country's ability to invest in safety and security measures for tourists. Third, inflation and exchange rates. In such cases of the cost, travel and accommodation for international tourists can significantly increase and making the destination less affordable. Fourth, reduce government support. A budget deficit may force the government to cut back on subsidies, incentive, and financial support program for the tourism industry. That's all for my part. Thank you for watching. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.